All right, we are live on Friday, August the 8th for our office hours. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining. Eric, I'll let you take it away, man.
Welcome, everyone. Happy Friday. So good to see you all here. We appreciate you hopping on. This is one of our favorite spots of the week to talk about life and business and real estate. So thanks for joining. We are in the weeds of building up our sales and marketing engine. So it's a fun game that we get to play, working on different, like funnels and leads and just getting people interested in learning about private money and how it's different than hard money or bank loans. And then, of course, that's just the very tip of the iceberg is, having these ads or videos or other ways where people can talk to us. And then after that, it's a lot of phone calls and education and sales reviews. So it's a lot of processing there. We've now got a lot of leads, a lot of data, a lot of stuff to sort through and analyze, but it's a fun process as we're building this up and making a difference for people who wouldn't otherwise be able to get funding, but can now do it, especially like some people who are doing even bigger projects where it would be over $100,000 out of their pocket and tons of monthly payments, $5,000, $10,000 a month coming out of their pocket because of the down payments and monthly payments required with hard money. So for a lot of people, just knowing that private money exists is huge, and they can do deals that'll be a very good, profitable deal, a great win for them they wouldn't otherwise be able to do. So that's what we're all about. And this office hours time is time for us to answer any of your questions, talk a little bit more about our business and how we're building it, and talk more about your business, your real estate, your goals, and how we can help you too. So welcome on, everybody. Thanks for joining. I think we said hi to Harless. Thank you for joining us. I see Dave Weissman on here. How you doing, Dave?
Hanging in there.
Yep. Understand. How I don't know if I've met you yet, but welcome on here.
Thanks.
Yeah. How did you hear about our office hours?
I'm on your funnel. I'm trying to remember the name of the gentleman who's texting me. Hang on a second. He's super sweet, and he's helpful. It would be
Brandon or Stu, probably.
Yeah, but I think it's Brandon. Brandon, yeah.
Awesome.
Brandon.
Yeah, Brandon's a great, good guy.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Love to hear it.
He's he's kind of got in the drip. So with the email blast and text, so I was like, I had like a sort of a question. I didn't know like what the formality is here, but
yeah, very laid back. Very laid back. We are just here to answer questions, and sometimes we'll share specific tips and tricks and things that we've encountered. But yeah,
I have a deal that I think I was talking about him with, and it's the MAO structure. It's kind of out the window because I'm a realtor here in Columbus, Ohio. Been about 5 years, and just now starting to get like trying to heat up my portfolio. I have 2 buy and holds, but an active flip, and then I kind of fell into I'm not technically in contract, but I'm working with a guy, a wholesaler who's going to assign it to me. Hasn't yet, but I'm not too worried about it. It's just kind of in bankruptcy now. And the reason, I mean, when I try to run the numbers with Brandon, he's like, that's not going to work. It doesn't meet our MAO, and we won't fund it. And I was like, I understand. The other condition is I was considering, and again, I feel weird taking up all the space, but this idea was
what it's for
a wholesale, where I have access to the MLS. I can, it's a property south of town, just outside the USDA border, about by 500 feet or so. So I guess technically a rural property, but in a growing area where homes around it are selling in the 4s and very high 3s, 4s, but mostly newer builds. This is from 49, needs a ton of work, but knowing that this is an area where people are trying to push outside of Columbus, for space, because it's just getting really crowded. And the long of it is ARVs, whether or not this is going to qualify, because it's older property, it's like a boxy little farmhouse versus a brand, a 20-year-old build. my vision is I understand the market, and I think the demand for a property that's an acre with, it could either be a tear down or it could be a renovation. My thoughts are I don't want to touch it. I might spend $2 to $5 or so K to just patch up major things, get the cat smell out of it, and put it back on the market. I forget if I said it. I should be able to get it for 174, and the ARVs are twice that. And I know, MAO, I don't think I want to deal with the rehab minus a few dollars out of pocket and just put it, as wholesale, and scrape, 20 to 80K. And just knowing that money's expensive for this, it didn't seem that this was something that you guys would fund, because it's just completely untraditional and sort of off the wall, and it's unproven.
Well, let me say one thing that is straight on our website that we could do. I'm not sure what kind of condition this is in. Is it just in livable condition now, just outdated, or is there parts of it that make it not livable right now?
It's livable. There's a guy that lives there. He's in bankruptcy. Bought it 10 years ago. Is deferred maintenance. Things need repaired. I walked it with my contractor. Estimate 75 to 80K, and that's on the mediocre lower end. So.
Yeah, that's that'd be interesting, because like the closest thing I can see to what we would do for wholesale funding, when someone just locks up a property, turns it right around and sells it on the MLS, is usually if the house is livable and there's not a lot of rehab needed, to get it to a certain condition where there'd be comps that would say like, hey, this property would sell for, I don't know, let's say it would sell for 300K any day in this condition. It might sell for 400, whatever, if you get it to look better. But if we have a property that's livable and hey, someone would buy it for 300K just right now and live in it, then we'll do 70% of the current value of the property.
Yeah.
But if there's a bunch of rehab and like, it just depends on like, is there enough evidence that we have a buyer that would pay that current value right now, or is it more like, no, it's going to be a fix and flipper that buys it? Because if it's going to be a fix and flipper that buys it, then they're going to take the ARV times.
Yeah, I'm with you. I wouldn't, I've thought about putting it out to wholesaler communities or my investor communities for maybe a smaller margin. The evidence being days on market of properties, similar sized ones, would fixed up 350, 360, you know what I mean? Not looking to push that, but it's the single only property in all of Columbus Metro that's an acre under 200. It's one of 10 properties all of Columbus Metro with an acre under 300. It is livable. Family could live there, and people want acreage and space. They want to bust out. Most plots in Columbus are, an eighth of an acre.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on where you are. So, I literally wanted to come in and just kind of chirp on this, because I have a way to get money. It's just, it's completely untraditional and unproven. But the days on market would be some of the proof that, and that area is, sort of, I wouldn't say booming necessarily, but this little older town with these older sort of homes is surrounded by newer builds and with bigger space. But this is a triangle acre property. It's a little bit of an X factor.
So what if there was a family that was just going to live there, and they might like slowly renovate it over time, but they're not going to be a fix and flipper that buys. It's just going to be the end buyer family that's going to live there. What would they most likely buy it for?
That's where I was something under 2, like a 259. They would, that would be like the honey. Look at this, an acre. We could live in it and fix it ourselves. You know what I mean? Like that's what I would think, I think it would pass FHA. It's, there's like I said, there's a few things I would do, to it. Could go USDA as well. So, I haven't. Yeah.
It sounds like an exciting possibility. I'm just thinking like, are there enough comps in that scenario where it's like similar-ish size and condition, like not a beautiful renovated new home condition, like similar-ish size and condition, selling for 240, 250 to give us the evidence that that's what someone would pay for it?
I can look into that, but yeah, typically most of the homes being sold are going to be those your renovated ones. But if I'm saying, like, if it's the same size house in the city, you know, smaller plot, but updated 350, let's call it just 360. You know, if I put it at 260, you know what I'm saying? Like super room for, you know, and people are just like, look at that. Is that real? You know, and they'd come and see it and be like, okay, yeah, it needs the work, you know. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, so I mean, I think that it's an exciting possibility, and I don't have any problem talking people out of my funding solution when I think there's something better. Like, you know, somebody can get a credit union loan and it's their needs and purposes, and it's 7% interest or 6% interest here. I said, well, you don't need private money. Go to the credit union, find the cheapest loan you can, and get that. You know, our benefits, of course, you've seen the funnel stuff, the speed, the no down payment if it qualifies, no monthly payments, stuff. But in this case, I'm like along that theme. If you'd want to do a deal with us, we'd love that. But also, you might be able to pull it off and de-risk it without needing us. Like if I were you, I would lock it up as good as I can and as flexible as I can to where you now have it under contract and you have as little EMD as possible that's on the line for you, and as long as an inspection and cancellation period as possible, plus the right to sell it to somebody else and the right to essentially put it on the MLS. Like I would lock it up at the 174K and then throw it on the MLS and see if you start getting bites. Like if you get a lot of bites at 240, 250K, then you've got some good evidence that people are going to do this. If it's crickets at 240 and 250K, then you realize what's going on. So I would want to test the waters.
Yeah. Well, and I would feel incredibly suspect to put it on the market. This is a little bit of a weirder escrow with it being in bankruptcy. You know, we've locked in the paperwork, we've locked in, you know, who's going to be the buyer, and that we're going to probably need to double close, and that it's kind of fairly locked in there. I've inspected it twice. I don't have an inspection period being a wholesale deal. But yeah, I thought about that. I don't feel comfortable, and I don't think it's even ethical to necessarily put it on the market before I have title.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that's interesting. Justin's a much better underwriter than I am, so he might have a few thoughts, but I think that's just basically to come down to the comps in that kind of scenario. It's really hard to compare new build or like 20-year build comps to a 49 house.
That's my issue. But I was trying to just go with the oh my God price, and you know, maybe start that a little higher, and that okay, seller concessions, okay, time on market at the same time could hold it and see how it does in the fall. If not, take it down for 45 days, list it at the end of the winter spring season, which for us starts the last week of January, and buyers come out in droves, and this thing might go for, you know, 300 at the point. So
yeah, I mean, like when there's comps that are like, okay, it's not exactly what we want, like we'll make adjustments downward to have like a conservative amount. So I guess Justin will have to check it out.
Okay.
You have any thoughts there, Justin?
Not a lot. Yeah, I think you pretty much said what was on my mind. You know, gonna need to see what, you know, what similar type of houses would be going for. And if you have a case for it going in present condition for 250, then and you're buying it at, you could buy it at what again?
174.
Then, you know, that's not a bad deal.
Yeah, it's just like just figuring out the funding and exactly like, and I feel bad taking up all this space.
No, you're good.
Conversation.
This is exactly what office hours is about. So
yeah, I was compelled, you know.
Other people are listening in and like, oh, I'm getting ideas, so that's good.
Yeah, basically all the active houses in this town are 400 and up, you know, 390 to, you know, high fours. And they're kind of staying active, but the ones that are reasonably priced are going a little bit quicker.
Sure.
And so I'll keep playing around with it, and I have some local people that you know would be open to this, and again I forget, I think I hit one of your funnel buttons on a Facebook ad, and it's just, you know, rating down, and so I was like, oh,
we're glad you came into the funnel and joined us.
Right, that's how we do business. So
yep.
But thank you for your time and input. You know, if necessary, I could maybe just reply to this email that invited me and just share maybe the address or.
Sure. Yeah, that'd be fine. Yep. And one of the things too, one of the things you could do is just text it to Brandon and ask him if Justin can take a peek at it. That would actually, that might even be faster than the info email, believe it or not.
Sure. Okay.
The other thing too, kind of to Eric's point, where our unique benefit comes in is speed, right? So if speed is beneficial to this person and you can take it over even faster or get an even deeper discount because you can close super fast, that's where we end up being really beneficial. But if speed is not going to alter anything, then to Eric's point as well, traditional financing may end up being a better option for you, because if it's financeable right now, you're going to spend a lot less money going the traditional route. We've had some investors utilize the fact that, essentially we end up converting people into cash buyers, right? With the speed that we're able to close for folks. We've got a guy down in Georgia went and bought himself it was a $865,000 loan. His initial purchase price was, I think, $760, I believe. And with that, he was going to end up having to do a down payment with us, but he was also planning a 30-day close. Like, he was planning traditional financing timelines. And we came back to him and said, well, here's what we can cover. And of course, right now that comes with a down payment, but this is your term sheet. This is what we'll cover. And we're telling you we can close that next Friday if you would like, and he's like, oh, great. And so our recommendation to him was go negotiate down. If you can close this by next Friday, what are they willing to give you for a discount? And he obliterated his down payment. That's kind of where our value proposition is. So he got that whole loan for no money down, no monthly payments. That's a big old honking loan too. So, 865 paying even hard money, monthly rate at 12% or 13, 14% annualized, depending on what you end up getting for hard money. That's a good chunk of change you got to drop every single month.
Right.
That was deferred with us. So.
No, I mean, there's certain value. Again, I'm on the call. I thought the whole thing, I was like rubbing my eyes, like reading your stuff. I was like, that's pretty sweet. And the cost is a little higher, but the value is a lot higher. So.
Sure.
Yep. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, definitely shoot that over. I'm happy to take a peek at it on, really quick and just see if it makes sense.
Awesome. I give my talking stick back. I feel
you're fine, Dave. We appreciate you hopping on here. This is a great
thank you.
Conversation. I see Jeff Honecker here too. How you doing, Jeff?
Hello, can you hear me okay?
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Good to finally meet you, man.
Yeah, sorry about that. I took a long way around. I apologize, but I wanted to say thank you. We were able to get everything taken care of. I cashed that check, $52,260 I made
Amazing.
on our first deal. It should have been $120,000, but I'm still suing Basement Authority. Right. They've already offered half off of what they fixed. They didn't fix anything.
Wow.
We're trying not to go to mediation. But I have to repair a bunch of stuff that really wrecked a lot. But I'm a determined individual, I'm a Christian first and foremost. So all I cared about was like, I got to get these guys paid because I want to stay in their good graces. So unfortunately, even with the extra fees and the extensions, I still made $52,000. That was
a heck of a profit for them.
Oh my God, it's such a home run. I mean, I feel great. I have to repair some things, but I'm like everybody else. I'm ready to buy more property, and I wanted to run it by you guys. I know I have to fill out the forms and everything, but all of a sudden I have an opportunity to buy 5 different houses, all off market. All people, a retired person just wants to get rid of their house. My girlfriend's house, she's interested in me buying it so she can take the money and go get another house, but she was going to live in and rent. It's my friend's mom and their childhood home. She got dementia. They moved out. The house is sitting empty. None of them wanted a 5-bedroom. My neighbor's house over here, it's been completed. So basically I have like 3 or 4 houses almost turnkey, ready to go. And then I want to buy this one behind me because, you know, you should buy your neighbors. It's better than a fence. It's better than a fence. Just buy the house. So that way you can control who lives there. But it's a 7-bedroom, 3 bath. It was at 75. Now it's down to 45,000 because, you know, I'm in West Virginia. The numbers are way different here. So how can I creatively go about scooping all these up? You know what I mean? I've been doing real estate for 10 years. You know, I had that surgery that I've told Eric about in between. It set me back, but I'm retired. I'm ready to, like, you know, focus everything into real estate like I've been trying to do. So
yeah, absolutely. And it was the post office before, right?
Exactly. I'm retired from the post office. I don't get paid a hill of beans in the retirement, but my insurance is like the best insurance in the whole entire world. You know, I had a $400,000 surgery. I paid $2,200 for it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. I'm glad that you're able to get that good insurance, and you've got the freedom now, right? You know how to make money with real estate. You don't have a full-time job, so
I'm entirely free.
You're ready to move to the beach.
Yep. Yeah, well, I would love. Oh, and I forgot to mention, my house is almost done. I have a 5-bedroom, and it's soon to be 3.5 baths in the middle of my capital city of Charleston. I live at max 12 minutes away from all 3 hospitals. I'm looking into Furnish Finder or Verbo to rent to traveling nurses.
Yep.
So I'm thinking, you know, my mortgage is $646. I could rent each floor for $800. Yeah. So with all that combined, I owe 72,000. I got the thing. I have 144,000, and they haven't even assessed it since I've like remodeled it. So with all that in mind, what can I do to scoop these properties?
Yeah, so I would start with, I mean, this could go into like a 3-hour conversation.
Sure,
but
yeah.
Starting in general, like what your goal is, right? Because some people want to be more hands-on, some people want to be hands-off. Like owning real estate is not truly passive. You're going to get involved in it. So are you wanting to just do a bunch of fix and flips so that there's no hassle with tenants where you just get rid of them? Or are you wanting to have a property manager that's going to deal with these? Because however you do a strategy, like for a burn rental, you got 2, 3, 4 homes. It's a whole lot different than having 10, 15, 20 homes. Do you want to start kind of smaller like this and then build up into multifamily? Do you want to just work until you get a certain amount of income and then go from there? You know, there's all sorts of different ways you can do this, but you know, 5 homes, even if you only do like a couple of those 5, that's a lot of your life to spend on. So whether it's going to be the first strategy, the fix and flip, or eventually the multifamily, whatever it is, it'd be best to identify what the long-term picture is that you want, and then shape those deals and choose the ones that best align with that.
Gotcha. Because I think the most amount of equity could be in the one behind me, but it requires the most amount of work. Like I said, it's only 45,000, but I used to own it. I know everything that's wrong with it because they let the homeless in there and they took everything out of it. But where I can fix anything in a house, I prefer. I've had much better experience with. I have a crew now. The people that I use to help me make that money, I was like very, very pleased with the people I've found, actual contractors, not a Facebook repairman. You know what I mean? And I'll always do all the electricity because I'll save all the money because that's my favorite thing to do. That's easy peasy. But the goal has always been bare minimum 10 houses that could afford my life, no problem. 10 houses, rent, and I could always still do fix and flips on the side, but that everybody needs that monthly income coming in.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely possible. I guess just to play devil's advocate and give a few other ideas, you'd probably get a little bit more steam if you had just one versus the other. Like if you're really in the weeds of a fix and flip and you've got to deal with tenants. I've dealt with plenty of tenants in my life. I've dealt with contractors on a different continent who weren't responding, and all sorts of stuff that I've been through. Justin knows some of those funny horror stories. But you know, another way to do it, if you just want to be much more passive, is just get a fix and flip operation going. And then as you keep making money in the fix and flip, get more and more employees in that fix and flip operation, and you're less involved. And then you just take the profits, you keep some for you, but you don't need all that money. You just invest some of those profits into other people's real estate funds. There's like Justin and I are co-owners and, minority owners on several RV parks and multi-family homes and stuff. And then that's actually one of the investments I love the most, because we have the equity, we have the tax benefits, the principal pay down, the appreciation, like all the benefits you can think about with real estate. We get those when we're in those kind of projects. And actually a lot of them, it's not even our own money. We've done partnerships and deals where we're able to get in with other value adds by, bringing the capital or structuring the deal or whatever you have. But with those kind of deals, I love them so much because, if the park catches on fire, if the sewage backs up, if there's like whatever happens at the park, nobody's going to call Justin and nobody's going to call me.
Nice.
The majority owners of the park are going to get called, because even though you've got a park manager who's running the day-to-day stuff, they're talking all the time with the majority owners. And I call the majority owners like, oh, hey, sorry, hold on a sec. I've got to go approve this insurance. I got to go file this. There's a problem here. There's a problem there. I got to go help that. So, they're not the managers, but they're still managing the managers and approving and making decisions in the weeds of it. When you're a minority partner in a fund like that, of course, you have to have high integrity partners and intelligent partners, good deals. That's essential. But once you've got that locked in, you get all the cake, but none of the calories. Like you get all the benefits, but not back of the real estate. That's what that's what I love about it. So like, if I could just put myself in your shoes a little bit and give you an interesting idea. Like my friend Victor Jirasek in Gainesville, Florida, is an absolute monster at fix and flips. He posts all the time. He's on like number 211 or something like that. And he's got a project manager that he'll pay $2,000 to $3,000 per flip. And he's got all of his contractors locked in. Every single thing the same. At first I was like, oh, well, that sucks. Like you're doing all these homes and like it's all the same bathroom, the same flooring, the same paint. But how many people are in the city? What is the probability that somebody's going to go into one bathroom in one house that you flipped and then go to the other one like, oh my gosh, that wall color and that bathroom was the same finishes as this one? Like nobody's going to notice, nobody's going to care.
Right, sure.
So like for you in Charleston, West Virginia, like where my brain is going with this is, if I was physically in Charleston right now and I knew how to do fix and flips and I had funding backing everything, I would just go fix and flip like crazy. Those kind of homes where it's like $80K purchase, $40K rehab, $200K ARV. Like we've seen quite a few of those, or like, $40K purchase, $60K rehab, like whatever it is, just make sure there's a solid margin on the fix and flip. Those like crazy, and just develop your process. Nobody's going to care if it's the same price range and the same style of homes. Just buy the same flooring, the same bathroom pictures, the same everything. So that way, when you have a project manager, they don't have to ask you any questions. Like Victor's project manager, she already knows the exact type of flooring and paint and the exact store to order it from and how much to order, what to do it. So the project manager, that she's also making a lot of money and doesn't have a really complicated job, because she's just doing materials and checking on contractors and stuff. They've got a system that is cranking really, really well. So I would build that system if I were you in Charleston. There's a lot of need for that. There's a lot of homes. And then just make tons of money and start investing that money into other places where you just sleep at night and you get it. There's no tenants to worry about.
Gotcha. Okay, let's do it. I'll write up.
I'll
write up the thing for this property. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Ryan Pineda is obviously a higher profile kind of, fix and flipper investor, but I've reviewed his style guide. And he's like, this is my fix and flip style guide. It's the same for every single one. It has the shade of paint listed there and the brand that we go with and the store for every single thing that we're going to use, so
Right.
they can order in bulk, and it gets any product that you maybe even over purchase a little bit, that just goes right into the next flip.
Next one.
Yeah.
What's his name? Where do I find that?
Ryan Pineda. Yeah, I don't know.
Pineda.
Yeah, Pineda. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like he's always doing some other sort of business venture, so he's not like the greatest resource.
Oh, I know this guy. Okay, I know this guy. Got you. Yeah. Okay.
But I saw his style guide, and that to me was a huge takeaway. I was like, yes, systems for sure.
Yeah, that's right. I've heard him say this. As a matter of fact, I followed him. I just like, that sounds so familiar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It takes running a fix and flip operation from being sort of like that side side hustle to business level, where it's like, I do this every single. Oh, love it, Dave. He's got a link to the style guide. Love it.
I think he's asking.
Do I have? I see it. Oh, seeking.
Yeah.
Oh goodness. Yeah, I don't think I have that anymore. It was one of his funnels. So I got stuck into his funnel and his drip campaign because of that. That style guide. But so I probably got rid of it because I don't do fix and flip per se. But it was a cool guide. It was simple.
So yeah, I am simple. I want to stay retired. You know what I mean? I don't want to do all the work. Just want to own it.
Yeah.
But I appreciate it. Thank you. I won't take any more of your time.
Oh, you're
no. This is what we're here for.
Well, I mean, it's these other people in here. I just want to be respectful of them. But thank you.
Yeah.
As a newbie, it actually is helpful to hear your thoughts. So thanks for doing this.
You bet.
Yep. No problem. Thanks for joining, Michelle. What's going on in your world?
I'm just in the season of learning. I have tried a lot of different things. Some of them have worked, some of them have not. And I'm just going back into the learning phase to wait for things that haven't worked to return so that I can get back up again and keep going.
Yep. You've done some lending, correct? And had some of those not perform as expected, right? I think you've contributed a couple of times on here. Yeah. Okay. Understood. Yep. I hear you. Hopefully some of those will come back soon for you. Those are tricky.
I joined a group called Legal Shield. You might know of it or not, but my thought with Legal Shield was it was a perfect opportunity to learn and to join arms with other people that are in the know and are in the legal space to help me finish off that has not finished by itself successfully.
Understood. Interesting.
See you, Dave. Thanks for joining.
Thanks for hopping on. Really great to meet you.
Thank you. Take care. I gotta jump.
All right. So you're saying that you joined a group that's Legal Shield. So it's primarily about what do they do? Is it about helping you protect yourself in investments, or is it like legal help?
Well, yeah, it's both. I mean, they teach you and train you certain guidelines and rules in the real estate or other area law, I guess, basically. Yeah. And then they have books, obviously, right, that are helpful for mindset. And then they have lawyers that can answer questions, or it also provides a discount to getting a lawyer through their program, which obviously there's other programs that you could have the lawyer be discounted because they're paying for it. But for me, it was more building my own knowledge, building my own self-defense, building my own, protection. So
sure. One thing on that note too, and obviously it sounds like this could be a helpful group, but one thing that will be really helpful for you. It sounds like you're in a discovery phase, which I feel like every one of us has had to go through, where I think Eric's in a permanent discovery phase in his brain. But one of the things though that will really help you is when you do light upon that sort of preferred avenue that you want to invest in, which is kind of what Eric was talking about with even Jeff, just Jeffrey here, just, where do you want to go? And when you discover kind of where you want to go, that will help define further which markets you're going to be working in. And then it'll help you establish the connections you're going to need in that market. So for instance, Legal Shield is great because you're getting general legal, exposure. You're talking with attorneys. But the question that would be on my mind is that attorney actually experienced in the field that you want to be, or the space you want to be going towards for investments? Are they experienced in your market? Because that might generally move you forward, but the people who are going to move you forward the most are the people who are, expert attorneys in your market, doing your who are knowledgeable in the investment journey that you want to take. So if you want to do, say, private money lending or something along those lines, and you want it to be successful, picking one market will do wonders for you over generally lending in lots of different markets that you may not know.
Yeah, I chose not to do that, and I'm thankful for that. I actually looked, well, I'm in Minnesota, which, is good if you want to do Section 8 or if you want to do something governmental wise, it's really good for that. But if you want to do, something where it's landlord friendly, it's not the state for that. And so really, I looked at Texas and Florida. I have 3 rentals in Florida. I have a LP in Florida that I'm doing for a commercial building. So I have, I have chosen Florida a little bit. But at the same time, you can have hurricanes, you can have issues. You don't want to be totally in one spot either. And I private money lent in Detroit and in California with one particular person. And I have something in Oregon. But that was more just getting with a TC that kind of knew what she was doing. And so I just thought I'd write it out a little bit with her. But even in that, it got stuck. So if I ended up wanting to have those things, that Detroit would obviously be one of the better places to retain that, property if I was going to loan to own or whatever. But yeah, I agree with you. No, I don't want to own everything across the nation. I have no interest. Like, I don't know. I bought rentals and I invested in a couple of funds just because I wanted to have some passive while I went to find my active and get busy on that. And yet at the same time, I'm not a guy, and I don't mean this in a weird, bad way. And sorry if there's any ladies on this call, but I'm not a guy, and I know I'm in a guy's field, and I don't need to be a guy. I just want to successfully accomplish real estate and provide a legacy for my girls. I don't have to be a man, and I don't have to own everything. I just want to be successful.
Yeah, I completely understand what you're saying there. Have you ever heard of Heather Blankenship?
I'm sorry, what?
Have you ever heard of Heather Blankenship?
Oh, I don't know if I have.
So she does lots and lots of real estate investing. Started out in RV parks, got a $30 million portfolio now, never once got an outside investor. I think she's got about half leverage on that, so very high net worth. But besides all that, she's doing other real estate projects now, and her life mission, like what gets her up in the morning, what she's all revved up and motivated about, is getting women into real estate and business. So left and right, if you look at her social media, she's like, hey, women's mastermind here, women's mastermind there. And there's this photos and videos of her and all these women going on hikes in Tennessee to the waterfall, or going line dancing or whatever, and having these meals together. And then they talk business and real estate, and you've got everybody there from powerhouse players like her who are multi-millionaires to people who just, regular middle-class Americans who just barely heard about real estate and wanted to check out the mastermind and showed up. Like, you've got the whole spectrum of people, of women at her women's masterminds. And I know Heather pretty well. Like, I've got her direct phone number. I've talked with her multiple times. She's an awesome, caring, loving individual. So if you're kind of feeling that desire to, embrace that feminine side of real estate, I guess, then Heather would be an incredible person for you to connect with.
Thank you.
Bet.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you for hopping on, Michelle.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate you too. You're very solid, steady, consistent. Like, you are the system.
Yeah.
Thank you. I see Gabriel Neres is on the call here. Gabriel, how are you doing?
Gabriel, tudo bem, cara?
He's on mute.
Yeah, I saw the Aquamarine Pro LLC. I'm like, man, that was Gabriel. Good catch, Justin. I couldn't, like, that rung a bell, but I just couldn't remember where it was. I was gonna throw some Portuguese out there. I guess we'll have to wait for that.
Yeah, I guess I'll have to wait. Yep, maybe some struggles with getting off mute, but yeah, Gabriel, if you end up coming off, hey, there he is. Oh, he's
on a phone call.
He's doing work. This man's like cranking away. I love it.
Who works on a Friday, right? Who works on a Friday? Come on.
All right. Well, when you're done with that call, you hop off. We got to talk, man. It's good to see you here, though. Damien, how are you doing?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey.
Good. How you doing?
Hey, good. I'm working here in the yard, so I don't know if you guys can hear me. Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
See you. How?
Good.
What are you working on these days? Other than the yard.
I'm excited to. We're closing a 24-unit apartment complex next Tuesday, so that's been my life for the last 2 months.
Okay.
So
closing it.
We're excited about it.
As the lenders or buying it.
No, sorry. I'm actually buying it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm really excited that that's a new asset to my portfolio, and I'm excited about that. I guess my question for you guys will be: so I'm working at now. I'm underwriting a 7-plex that just got last night sent by another broker. So I'm finding multifamily very interesting, and I have a good portfolio of doors individually and also with partners. I guess my question that I like what you guys have going here. I love the part of like capital raising. It's not my strength. And I don't know if you guys have any suggestions on that. I feel like I've been doing really good, but I feel with other people's capital, maybe I can have twice the number of doors that I have today, And I've been playing by myself for the longest time. Maybe in the last 24 months, I opened up to bring other people's money, but I haven't done a good job to advertise myself or put myself out there as a capital raiser or someone that provides deals for other people.
No, that's an exciting journey you got. Give me a little bit more details. Like, remind me where you're located and where these deals are.
So I'm originally from Argentina. So I'm from South America, but I live in Arizona. So I've been in Arizona since 2001. I got my my real estate license in 2007. I'm a real estate broker. I opened my own brokerage in 2013, and then after that, I did really good as a broker. And all the money that I made, I turned around and bought a smaller multi-unit family. So
Phoenix area.
Sorry.
Phoenix area.
Phoenix area. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All in the Phoenix, Mesa, Apache Junction area, Tempe, all that. So I have about 45 doors on my own, 24 more added to that hopefully this coming week. And then I have about probably another 170 with syndications, partners, and all that.
I don't even know how many doors Justin and I have between the funds and stuff. There's kind of fund structures where there's a lot of assets thrown in there. There's quite a bit that we're a sliver of an owner of, but that's exciting too. So how are you funding this 24 unit?
So little bit of a creative deal. So I made a proposal, a crazy proposal to the seller, 0% down, and no, I'm sorry, not 0% down, 0% interest for eight years. But then after due diligence, we restructured the deal. So so the purchase price is $4.5 million for the 24 doors. I'm offering them $1 million down, and then the seller is carrying a 4% note for 8 years. The first year is going to be interest only, and then starting the second year is going to be principal and interest. That allows me to bring the rents up to speed and kind of execute the business plan in the next 12 months.
So where's the 1 million down coming from? Is that not
so I'm bringing some partners for about half of that, and then I'm doing a cash out refi on 2 of my properties that are paid for free and clear.
Okay,
nice.
That's a lot of personal investment, but congrats. Yeah, I understand where you're at, because when you have that powerful of a deal, if you could just get investors to get the pref return at 10 or 12% or whatever, and then you keep the equity, that would be the ideal scenario, since you're the one that's doing all the work on it.
Yeah, I'm not super knowledgeable when it comes to structuring the partnerships and stuff like that. I always done it with mainly a few partners or a few friends or people out of my network. If I have to go, if I don't have the resources available, but for the most part, it's been just by myself, and that's why I need to learn to leverage other people's resources. Sometimes I don't want to bug people. I don't want to reach out. I'm like, I'm just going to tackle this project by myself. And then I saw that it was a good deal. I started making an offer, not even having the $1 million ready, or not even being liquid, $1 million. So after they accepted a deal, which was a great deal, I'm like, oh crap! Now how do I come up with $1 million? And I always do this to myself. My wife is like, you're crazy! Like, you didn't even have $1 million and you offer them that. So I started. And now I was forced to kind of reach out to partners and open it up. So I struggle with that part of capital raising and putting myself out there as someone that could have deals or vehicles to park their money. And I ended up refinancing 2 of my properties, and got about probably $600,000 out of 2 of my properties just to make it happen.
Well, congrats. That's a wonderful way to do it. My first thought is who, not how, if you've heard of that book or that principle. Like, if it's just not in your innate desire or talents or capabilities, you just don't like it, it's not natural to you to be a capital raiser. There are people who are very, very good at being capital raisers. So if you think about, like, let's say there's another deal just like this one that pops up and you need $1 million, but it's going to be a huge cash cow. The price you pay for not being a good capital raiser, or for not partnering with a good capital raiser, is all the equity, right? That's the price you're paying for having to have partners that you split it 2 ways, 3 ways, instead of just having investors that you're paying 10, 12% annualized back by real estate, whatever that ends up being. So, if it's the who, not how strategy, you could potentially find people who are good capital raisers and they can raise at 10 to 12%, and then you give them another 1, 2, 3% on top of that, and then the investors are happy, the capital raisers happy because they made good money and they can move on. If it's going to be you yourself capital raising, then like some of the knowledge all the way back to the 1800s, I agree with completely, which is back in like then the time frame. The idea was if you want to get good at something, read the best book on the subject. That's what I've done to, at least I'm not an expert marketer, but to be more aware of sales and marketing. I read $100 million leads, and there's still plenty of stuff we need to apply from there. But if you want to do capital raising yourself, then that would be like reading Hunter Thompson's, I think it's real estate capital raising. It's like a very simple title. That's the exact book. It's on my list to read. So read that, read the best book in the space to get incredibly aware of all the strategies and the landscape there. And then go to the events like Raise Fest and other conferences, other networking events where other people are raising capital themselves. Like what you eventually want to land on is somebody who's got like 20, 30, $40 million who wants to work with you. And rarely do you just get straight to that person. Usually there's some other person that you meet at a networking event or somehow somewhere, you get in touch with them, and they're kind of the gatekeeper for that person who's got that wealth stored up.
I love it. What was the name of the, so Who Know How is one of the books you mentioned?
Yep.
And then what was the other one?
Oh, let me Google it. Real estate. Justin had it right there. Let me see. It's Raising Capital for Real Estate. Just the most straightforward title possible.
Is that like out of a Bigger Pockets or something?
I don't know if it's connected to Bigger Pockets. The guy's name is Hunter Thompson. He's kind of made that. I just sent the link on Amazon.
Perfect. Thank you.
Raising Capital for Real Estate: How to Establish Credibility, Attract Investors, and Fund Deals with Hunter Thompson. I have not yet read it, but I'm still kind of attached to the sales and marketing engine. I need to improve that with Creative Cash Partners. Once I'm less attached to it, I'm going to be fully into capital raising mode. So I'm definitely going to read that book. And who knows, I might find a who not how for someone who can do it completely for us. But I think that I'm still going to be more involved in that, since that's the biggest, that'll be the next biggest thing in our business. But yeah, it's just a question of like, you might read the book just so that you're more aware of it yourself, because even if it's like your long-term strategy is going to be to have somebody else do the capital raise for you, when you're more informed about all the strategies and how to do it by reading this kind of book and that kind of material, you'll be better off judging if someone's doing a good job capital raising or not. Just like I'm not the person who's doing the marketing or the paid ads for Creative Cash Partners, but since I've read $100 million leads from Alex Hormozi, which is arguably the best marketing book out there, then I have a much better idea of all the good things they're doing, plus some of the shortcomings where it's like, that this could be tweaked to make it better. Like I have an idea of how well they're doing it.
I really appreciate that. I'm learning, so
you're learning, but you've already done so much real estate for all these years, so you're way far ahead than the average Joe that wants to do real estate. You've done a lot.
Yeah. Perfect. Thank you, guys. Thanks for putting this together every week. And sorry that I'm all sweaty and gross.
It's all good.
In my yard.
We're real people. That's how life goes. Thanks for joining.
Damon, I threw my information in there too. If you wanted to chat on the phone, I threw my phone number and name in there. We could talk on the phone. I am in circles with other people that are private money lenders. So when you're talking about trying to understand the mindset, like I do have some of the mindset. I just haven't had really great that have finished themselves off well, but I do have a mindset in the space, so I would be open to talking to you about that.
Thanks, Michelle. I'll reach out. I see your number here.
Okay.
Yeah, Michelle, if you ever want to do stuff with us too, like just, if you know people who would want to join in some deals with us and do some funding as well, we'd love to connect with those circles also.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, I like you too. I already said what I thought of you too. So, yep.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Hey, Eric, just a quick question before I know that we may be getting close to the end of this thing. I'm getting started into the investment area. My wife is a realtor and she has a brokerage, and we just sort of stumbled into this thing. We started with a property that we owned free and clear on in a neighborhood that my grandfather once owned all the land. So it's got sentimental value to us.
Oh,
So we went back to that house that had been neglected. So it needed a lot of repair. And our idea was, hey, let's repair this one. We don't have a mortgage on it. We'll pull the equity out of it and we'll get into the next one. So we started down that route, and then another house in the neighborhood became available. So, hey, let's get it. So we ended up using some of our personal funds to get into that one. And then we were renovating the first one. The second one didn't need any repairs. So we did a DSCR loan and put a renter in it, and it just sort of it stayed there. So we were on that path. And then a third house in the same neighborhood became available, and we ended up acquiring it. So we are in it, acquiring 3 properties in the last 35 days. And now we've got a 4th property that we're looking at. So most of it's been DSCR or our own resources. And we're trying to figure out what's the best avenue to pursue so that we have to continue to pull from our own resources to help get into these projects. And we've been looking at other lenders online, DSCRs, bridge loans. And there are lots of fees associated with getting money.
Yep.
And sort of getting a loan, then refinancing. So you have to close twice. And we're just trying to figure out how to avoid some of these loopholes as we expand our reach in this arena.
Yeah, for sure. Well, there's 2 key things that you can do outside of just, getting connections with other friends, other private money lenders, and other, capital sources. Outside of just finding more of other people's money to that, the 2 key things that you can do are to lock up the property as low as possible, and then just make sure that you have the strategy defined. So if it's going to be a BRRRR exit or a fix and flip exit, for example, like if it's a fix and flip, then obviously we're Creative Cash partners. We do, if it's locked up deep enough, no down payment, no monthly, so it's just some closing costs you got to cover, but very little out of pocket, and then you profit from the fix and flip and you roll those funds into the next deal. Or if it's a BRRRR deal, if you've locked it up right, then you should be able to get the DSCR and even get a cash out refinance. So you get a check after you refinance it instead of having to pay to refinance it. That's kind of the overall dream of BRRRR investors, is to just keep locking up deals at a low enough price that even after I do it and then I rehab it, I can refinance and get a check in my pocket at refi, so that all of the money just keeps recycling and actually growing bigger and bigger, because you make money on the BRRRR deal, plus you keep the property, and you make more money and keep the property, and it just keeps snowballing from there.
Can I ask a question, Eric, regarding right there, that comment you were making? Does it make any sense to, if you didn't get into that place, does it make any sense to buy the project entirely and refinance it? Like if you pay out the whole project and then refinance it so that you're able to get your money back, but are able to maybe get a lower rate going or a lower something. I don't know. Does it make, I'm just trying to figure out, like I got into it at retail price, and I'm trying to figure out if I refi it in some certain way, if there's a strategy to refining it that can create a value.
So you're saying, like, what can I do if I've already sunk money into a property where it's like, I invested in it and it's just full retail price is what I paid?
Right. Like, okay, so I'm just saying, so if I pay off the entire amount on the project, right? So it's a retail item. If I pay the entire thing off and then refi to get my money out of it, I know it sounds a little crazy, but I'm just saying, then refi to get it out so that it's at like an 80%. But then would that at all change? Is there a way to use money and a project that was bought at full retail to squeeze the juice out of it and make it a positive?
Well, with most loans are going to be 70, like you said, sometimes 75 or even 80. So the options are pretty limited to just do a regular refi and get the 100% of the value back. What most people would do is just hope for like a really killer cash flow, like it's a Rockstar Airbnb or it's a co-living or whatever. You're just making so much monthly that it pays off the down payment you paid, and then you get that money back. The only other ways outside of that are pretty straightforward and common would be to get a partner. So that partner will come, and whatever you invested into the property, like your down payment, the partner would pay that and invest into it. And then you guys would have some sort of ownership agreement, or you split the ownership, split the cash flow. But they invested into it with their savings, or maybe they're just a private money lender who's willing to take a risk on you, and they'll go in second position behind the first loan, and then you'll pay them every month based off of the cash flow. Like those are the main options there. But to the point that we said earlier, it's so much easier if you're getting a deal, right? If you're just paying way below market value, because then your options to refinance and put cash in your pocket at refi are huge, and that's what just keeps the flywheel spinning faster and faster.
Thank you.
Yep, no problem. All right, does anybody have any last burning questions before we sign off and call it a Friday?
Two questions. You mentioned the cash out DSCR. If you just gave me a short explanation of how that works, and then with the BRRRR, buy, repair, refinance, repeat. I'm just trying to figure out that acronym. What is that?
Yep. So look up Nate Barger. I've had dinner with him, hundreds of millions of dollars net worth. He's the king of BRRRR. He will tell you again and again and again. He constantly posts like little tidbits of knowledge. He's got a free Facebook group that's chock full of knowledge, and then a paid one. So I'll put that in the chat. Look up Nate Barger. Besides just Googling the BRRRR and learning more about it, he'll give you tons and tons of tidbits and helpful stuff right there. And the cash out refinance, so let's say that you've got a property that's worth $400,000 for easy numbers, right? If a lender is going to give you 75% of that, that's $300,000. So if you have only spent $270,000, but a lender will give you $300,000, then there's a potential for you to get that $30,000 in your pocket as a cash out refi, right? In reality, you're going to need a little bit better numbers than that, because there's going to be some points and fees with the lender that refis it, but that's the basic principles. Like you're below what the like your cost, your previous loan, or just whatever you spend on purchase and rehab, if you did a cash, is below that threshold that the lender will lend. So they'll actually give you some cash in your pocket at closing as part of their 75% loan.
Got it. Thanks.
Yep, no problem. Gabriel, tudo bem? Terminou a ligação?
Terminei. Obrigado, viu, pela oportunidade aí. Thanks. Hey, everybody. How are you all doing? Doing good? I just came today to say hi. First time here, so it's a pleasure, learning from you guys as well.
Yeah,
absolutely. Good to have you on, man.
Good to have you too. Have you had a call with Stu yet? I told Stu's one of our awesome client reps that's working with lots of borrowers and brokers. Has Stu called you yet?
He's the marketing guy, right?
Yeah.
I talked to him. I talked to him.
Sales, but yeah,
I talked to him. I think 30 days ago.
Nice.
But he's looking for something more like bigger, kind of scalable, and something that I'm not doing right now. So I'm doing in-house. So basically,
I think you're.
Remember I told you that I have like digital marketing business and everything else. So yeah, I will have my guys working. Well, actually, they are already working on it. So basically, yeah, that's what we decided.
Yeah. So you're referring to Marlon Orellana. Because if you remember, Justin, Marlon.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Yeah, I want to connect with Gabriel because Marlon.
So we maybe
marketing stuff. Yeah.
So we may be talking about two different people then.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
Okay.
So Marlon is the marketing guy that runs our paid Facebook ads and all that kind of stuff. And he reached out to you to see if he could help you find more motivated borrower leads and build an ads system to do that. And I understand that wasn't a fair. I know that's fine. Stu on our team is a salesman, a client representative, however you want to say that. That is.
Yeah, I didn't talk to this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to. Okay, I'll follow up with Stu on that one then, because we should have had at least another touch base with Creative Cash Partners and you soon. But we love to have you on here. Glad to see you here.
Yeah, well, I'm waiting for you guys to expand. Get some more states because I'm getting a few clients in Arizona. Those states as well. So
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Yeah,
I'm working. On the states that you guys working on as well. So let's see what comes up. Nothing like really solid because there are a lot of people that they have deal, but they think they have a good deal, but it is a deal, but it's not a good deal. So basically, it's better not to bring you guys headache.
Yep. No, appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things I'm looking forward to doing a little bit more with you is that you are aware of that. There's very few. We work with a lot of different folks who will either broker or connect or whatever they, however they bring it to us, and they don't actually understand what makes the deal a good deal. So often they come to us without even tertiary glance at underwriting. It's more just like, hey, I have files and things, an address here, and the numbers often just don't pencil. So yeah,
I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right off the bat, I'll tell the client, hey, you need to get these properties out to this price point, otherwise it's gonna be hard to get financed with me or anybody else out there.
Absolutely.
Yep,
absolutely.
So
right.
I invest myself, so I know the thing.
Yeah. You need to fund one of your next deals here soon.
Oh yeah, sure. I'm going towards new construction, so let's see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. But we can, as long as the relationship is there, there's always a door open. So we'll see.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. I'm getting ready to move forward to a new construction project, and then we will talk about my personal deals.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. Well, thank you all for hopping on today. Good conversation. Very good conversation. And Eric and I usually try to keep these short and sweet. We're a little over an hour now, but worth every minute of the conversation. So thank you all for joining, and we'll look forward to seeing you all next week.
Yep, for sure. Thanks, guys. Yasmin and I have a trip next week, so it might be just Justin on the next time, but we love to see you here. Thanks for joining.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you all.
Uh-huh.
Take care. Bye-bye.
See you.